It is Wednesday, March 18th, 2026. This is a very special WBC edition of baseball today. That is not my man, Trevor Plouffe. That is my dude, Miguel Rojas. I am Chris Rose, producer Dan along for the ride as well. Plouffe's been hanging out, of course, with Talking Jake and the rest of the crew down in Miami watching the World Baseball Classic semis and now the final. He can't be with us, but pretty good consolation prize is a guy who grew up in Venezuela and is all smiles. Go ahead, pop that jersey if you want to. You can. You
We're
can.
here, baby. We are on the top of the world right now. Venezuela just put an amazing WBC. What a tournament overall. But I think Venezuela shows the world the kind of baseball that we have going on right now, especially in this last decade. So many good players representing the country year in and year out. A bunch of all stars. We got an MVP. A unique season on Ronald Acuna a couple years ago, 40-70. First time you see something like that happening. I think this much of attention it was due to happen to a Venezuelan team because we've been putting our country in a really big place and a really top place in baseball. But I feel for the people in Venezuela to get all together and watch what we're all about in baseball, especially in America and the best baseball in the world in United States. And winning this competition means more than what you guys can imagine.
All right. We'll get to much more about it and what it means to your homeland and the emotions that you felt while watching the game as a fan and as a Dodgers shortstop. But first, let's relive how this thing went down.
Venezuela, the best in baseball.
What made this team so special?
The union. We are together the whole time. We're not just teammates, we are family. This team is awesome. We are family here. That's why we play with passion, with love, because we feel the jersey, we feel our country in front of us. That's why this is a lot for us as players, as a people, as a human beings, and as a Venezuela. Now we are the champion.
That, of course, the voice of the guy who drove in the game-winning run, Eugenio Suarez. I imagine you're right along with him in his thought process there, right?
Yeah, a lot of pride, man. You feel really proud of being Venezuelan today to get born in this country and to grow up watching baseball and playing baseball in Venezuelan stadiums. I feel like I was saying earlier, just to be able to do it in this kind of environment and when everybody else is watching in the world. It's just a proof of what we've been doing. You know, the last couple decades, we got so many players who have done so much for this country. But what Eugenio Suarez say there, the something that unify the country all together for so many years is baseball. So, you know, Venezuela is a baseball country that is kind of like it goes through our veins every single time that any competition level in sports that includes baseball in Venezuela, we have a chance to win. And it's pretty special that we have a chance to go to the distance on this one with the guys in the dugout that were part of it before, like Miguel Cabrera, Victor Martinez, Johan Santana. They could never do it, but I'm so happy that they got the opportunity to be in the dugout and be part of this special group of guys that they're kind of like been doing it for a long time. But it's really special for us to watch them celebrate alongside Omar Lopez because I know how hard he's been working on this. I know how frustrated for him at times it's been because of it's not easy to put together a team to represent our country because we have so many good players. But at the end of the day, he said it right. He said it best, man. It's not about the names. It's about the men that are going to compete for your country. And whoever get the opportunity to be there and be representing the 30 guys on that team, they did an amazing job. And I'm so proud that today we all feel the same in Venezuela. Whoever is Venezuelan right now is a citizen and is living in some place in the world or is still living in Venezuela. We all feel the same way. We feel so proud of these 30 guys plus all the coaching staff and the front office that represent us there in Miami, and we can be more proud of them.
I'm sure you are. No question. I do want to get your thoughts really quickly on the game. With this powerhouse offense for Team USA that never really got it going after games against Brazil and Great Britain, they really kind of struggled down the line. Couple of big swings, couple of big home runs, but for the most part, held in check. Are you surprised that Venezuela, when playing back-to-back games against Italy and then the U.S., was able to do that?
Yeah, I mean the thing with Venezuela this year, they had a pretty good plan coming into the games every single game, because you can see the flow of the things. Like they were kind of using the guys with the hot hand. That bullpen was pretty set up. You gotta understand that the first guy that you're gonna see out of the bullpen is Basardo. He's been doing a great job doing that role. It was in the third inning of the first game that he pitched. I remember Omar Lopez pulling the strings right there early for Basardo to face the middle of the lineup. I think that was a pretty good decision. And then the back end of the bullpen with Serpa and those two guys at the end throwing 100 mph. I feel like it's really hard to beat that, and pitching at this time, especially on the year, is gonna beat any offense. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna say that our pitching was weak at any form, but I feel like pitching is always gonna be way better than hitting at this time of the year. I mean, all the credit to our pitching, but obviously, when you have that kind of pitching against offense right now in mid March, pitching is always going to win. So I'm glad that we have those arms in the back end of the bullpen, that they were attacking hitters, just like being relentless of like attacking the strike zone and pounding the zone. And I think that's what they did.
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest with you. I thought that when Harper went deep to tie this game in the eighth, I was like, okay, something funny here is going to happen. Like Harper hits that big one, takes his time around the bases,
Mhm.
basically stopped at third base, is pointing to the American flag on the side of his arm, talking to the camera. And I was like, oh my God, like this is the thing that Team USA, this is the thing that we need right here. Did you think that maybe, oh gosh, this is where it's going to go America's way?
Yeah, definitely. You felt it as a fan, as a player on that field. Like, as soon as I mean, you're 4 hours away from winning the WBC right there, and right in front of your eyes. Bryce Harper just hit a ball in the deepest part of the ballpark in Miami and kind of tied this game. You feel like, okay, now it's gotta be a miracle or something really special happening in the top of the night, and that's exactly what it happens. I mean, another thing is like these WBC rules and all that. Mason Miller couldn't pitch
Mhm.
today. Who knows about all the guys in the bullpen back then? You don't even know like what Mark DeRosa have to deal with today, and how many guys he got available to pitch. At the end of the day, you never know what's going on there. But I mean, it works in our advantage that we have to face a really good reliever. But I mean, Whitlock, with all due respect, it's not 102 mph, and then he
Right.
walked the first guy on a rise. I think again, Omar Lopez putting Sanoja there, big stolen base, simplifying a little bit of the things to Eugenio Suarez, not trying to hit a home run anymore. He was just trying to get him over to third base, and then he catch the changer out front or the slider out front. I don't even remember. I know it was a soft pitch. Hit him in the gap in left center, and we got that run. So that was enough for us to win, because we knew our guy, the back end of the bullpen, was
Valencia.
was yeah, Palencia was ready to go today, and I mean, we got the opportunity to see him for 3 more outs.
Yeah. By the way, that Harper home run was the biggest one we've seen in baseball since my guy Miggy Rowe. Just saying. Just say it's not as big, but it was big. Just
That's
want
right. That's right. Yeah, I mean, kind of the same feelings there, right? So
yeah.
I mean, down to the last 4 outs, with 2 outs in the eighth. That was a big homer by Bryce. But I mean, when you face a lineup like that, and these guys are being through like so many big moments on their careers, but this is something different. I mean, you're never 100% ready and completely equipped to get these at bats in high level situation just yet. When you're trying just to get ready for the season and trying to find your stroke. Um, Sometimes it just take like a guy who's hot at the moment, and I feel like that's what happened there. All the work the Bryce put on so many batting practice rounds and all that. I heard that he's been working so hard to find his stroke. And I mean, a big swing of a bat for him right there to tie the game.
All right, I'm gonna ask you this because you're qualified, even though you're not officially a member of the Venezuelan WBC team. You obviously that's all in your heart. What is bigger? Is it the World Series? Is it the WBC? Or are people just saying the WBC because that's what we're in right now? Where do you sit on that whole thing?
Well, it's really hard for me to say WBC because I have never played one of them. I don't really know what the players feel when I'm there. They're on the stadium playing for their country. You know, in front of their fans, especially in Miami, that we have a lot of Venezuelans. Our community in Miami is incredible, and like Michael Garcia said yesterday, it feels like you're playing in a Venezuelan field, you know, and that gotta be pretty awesome. I never got the opportunity to do that as a player, but I got the opportunity to play in the last two World Series, and just because um, I grew up watching baseball when WBC never kind of like it wasn't part of the equation.
Mhm.
So I was always dreaming about winning the World Series because that's the biggest accomplishment as a player that you can have. And it's really hard to win a championship in the big leagues when you have to face 30 teams and 30 teams are preparing and getting ready to win a championship, right? So it's kind of like WBC is like getting your pass already to the playoff, right? But you don't have to go through 162 games grind to get there. So I'm not gonna go against what Kike has said. The WBC is way more important because playing for this country and this jersey in front of your chest, it means a lot. And I'm pretty sure that's what everybody kind of referring to. Winning for your country is bigger than winning just for the team that you represent and you getting the opportunity to play in the big leagues with. But it's gotta be a different feeling and a
True.
different feel of like, okay, what did just accomplish? You know,
Right.
it's pretty special that you can win a championship, but at the end of the day, winning a World Series it takes a little bit longer to get there, and there's a special grind that you have to go to be there. You know.
Yeah, that's a great explanation. I mean, listen, we've heard your Dodgers teammate Kike Hernandez say, the WBC would be bigger for him, even though he's won multiple rings with the Dodgers. Of course, he's from Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Julio Rodriguez said, "Hey, Seattle, I love you. I play my ass off for you, but the WBC would be very special to this Dominican." Juan Soto, who won a ring with the Nationals, said something similar. And by the way, I'm not going to jump down anybody's throat. I always
No.
equate it this way. Not that I was ever good enough to win anything,
Right.
but I would say this. I love what I do for a living. I love working at John Boy Media. I love working at NFL. I love working for America, but I love my family more.
Right.
And I love my country. And I think it would be really cool to accomplish something that way. And it's not exactly apples to apples. I understand that. But that's the way I kind of look at it is that there are some things that are near and dear to your heart that it doesn't matter where you work for a living, you're always going to be drawn back to something where, during your formative years that made you the person that you are, that made you, grow up a certain way. And I think that we just got to cut people slack. It's not a shot at the New York Mets fans when Juan Soto says it. It's not a shot
That's
at the
right.
Mariners fans. It's not a shot at Dodgers fans for Kike Hernandez. It's whatever they believe in their heart, and that's okay.
Yeah, and I gotta say this: like, if you win the World Series for the Los Angeles Dodgers, for example, we did the last couple of years, you're gonna be a pretty big deal in LA, right? But
Hell yeah.
probably in Venezuela, people will forget about that, and they sometimes they wouldn't care that much about like you winning in the World Series where you're working so far away from home. But when you put this uniform on, it's like you're gonna be all those guys on the field today. They're gonna be legends in Venezuela forever. They're gonna be remembered where they grew up. like they gonna receive an special treatment for life at the place that you kind of started like living life, and that's way more special than just being in just one city or winning multiple championships for different cities in states. When yeah, you have really like your feelings are really tied to that community. And for me, especially Los Angeles is gonna be kind of home away from home, just because I accomplished so much there already, and I feel like I'm gonna continue to grow my life, and my family is gonna be attached to LA forever. But it will never be the same if I'm a legend in Venezuela for one reason or another.
That all makes sense, man. We got much more coming your way. Miggy, hold tight. I want to let everybody know that this episode of Baseball Today is sponsored by SeatGeek. You've got the baseball regular season coming your way next week, not to mention the conclusion of the NBA, the NHL. March Madness is underway. We got the World Cup coming to North America this summer. That's why we want to give a shout out to our sponsor of today's video, SeatGeek. Over 35 million downloads, more than 70,000 listed events. SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. Each ticket rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know you're getting a really good deal. Look for the green dots. Green, good, red, bad. Even if like you get floor seats to a hoops game, it might give you a red dot because it's not the best deal in the book for you. And got a code for you as well. It's Baseball 2026, 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets, promo code Baseball 2026. Click the link in the description, download the app, have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. All right, USA. I don't know if you saw this, but right after the game, the commissioner of baseball, Rob Manfred, is there for the medal presentation. The guys from Venezuela, super happy. The looks on the faces of Kyle Schwarber and the rest of the crew as Rob's giving them a little pat on the shoulder, they got to be thinking, boy, great medals. Second sucks. Now, this was supposed to be our tournament, and we've only won it one time, and that was back in 2017. People are going to be screaming at the top of their lungs, Miggy Rowe, about what's wrong with American baseball right now. What answer do you have for them?
Nothing is really wrong. It's just like the competition is real. We have really good things around the world. Last year was a Japan display. With Shohei and Yamamoto and Rocky um, and all the other guys that represent Japan the last time, and they pull out a really really good game. And then it's been Dominican. It's been now Venezuela. I feel like we all have an opportunity to win this because it's so short. It's 7 games, and in every game that you play is a game 7 of the World Series. It's really hard to win them all. And I mean, America has put themselves in a really good position to win in the last couple of years. They just haven't done it the way that they wanted to. But I mean, the other team is supposed to go out there with the intensity and the willing to win it all as well, and they have the same kind of players that the United States have. I understand they trying to build the best team that they can, but I mean, we have MVPs as well. We have all stars. We have guys who have win it all before as well. So I think, I mean, they're not playing against bad competition. They're playing against the best in the world, and I mean, MLB is full of players from all over the world that are making MLB better. It's not just American players.
We've had a lot of talks, Plouffe and I, on this show over the last several weeks about the demeanor of Team USA. And we see what's going on in the Venezuelan dugout and in the Dominican dugout. And heck, even the guys in Team Italy, who are most of them are from this country. But
Yeah.
something happens when you put on an Italy uniform and they're doing shots of espresso. They're having a blast. The guys from South Korea, when they made it to the quarterfinals, were in tears on the field. And when we look at USA, sometimes it looks like they're a little too cool for school or whatever. What's the prevailing thought of other major leaguers? Do you guys look at the guys in the Team USA jerseys and they think, maybe it's not as important?
Not really. I just feel like they have their own personalities, and I played with American players before that in United States they play with circum demeanor and they go to winner ball and they transform themselves. They probably, I mean, the players there probably haven't find that, the joy that is to play in front of the crowd, to jump. They're not used to jumping in front of the dugout every single time that you get a base hit. Like that takes a lot of effort and a lot of energy. And we are being playing into that environment for a long time. I'm not talking about just the WBC. Every time you play in the winnable team, that's how it is every single night for 60 something games. So you can't really say that the Americans are not passionate enough. It's just like a different way to live baseball, especially when they're playing in Miami. And Miami fans are 75% of the fans there are from Latin America. And they're like living baseball like it's a party, like a big festivity where everything, even a walk count, like the ponche chants are kind of like something that people like grew up with. And Americans, they don't play the game that way. And that's why you're gonna see the emotions and the passion from other teams, especially from Latin America. They're gonna be different than the way that they play baseball here in the United States.
All right. So, I brought this up on the show the other day as to whether or not we should be allowing musical instruments in for the regular season. And people wrote me back in the comments section, Rose, if we do that for 162 games, you can count me out as a fan. And then I was like, yeah, you're probably right. Like, is there a middle ground that we can do with this where it's, or do we just have to wait to October where guys start jumping over the railing? You've played in this game now for over a decade in Major League Baseball, but you go back, you play winter ball, you play international competition. Where should we be with all of this?
Yeah, I just feel like the regular season is too long for us to be jumping and being like that. It's not sustainable. If you play the game like that for 162 games, where you go to places where baseball is played and it feels a little bit different, we're gonna have to have the kind of environment to make us jump out of the dugout. I mean, I play in a really special place. Los Angeles is 50 something thousand people every single night that motivate us to play the game a certain way. We're held into like these standards of excellence that make us feel like, okay, we have to push a little bit harder. And when you're talking about like getting instruments to the field and all that, you have to have the right kind of fans to do that. And in Miami, we have a really pretty good example that every time something happens in Miami, you see how the environment is. You really want to play baseball there. If you ask me if I see that happening in any other part of the country, yeah, I see that happening in San Diego, see that happening in places like Tampa or places a little bit more tropical, and yeah, fans gonna have to make a decision if they want to live like that for 82 games in your regular season or 81 games at home. But it takes a lot of sacrifice, and I don't think it's sustainable to play that kind of environment for 162 games. These were just 7 games, and you're returning to spring training.
Just to put a period on this with Team USA, the guys cared. They don't all have to be the same way as, Venezuela, the Dominican. Be who you are. That's all right. I do think that this is going to sting for these guys. I think they're going to be really bummed that they didn't walk away winners. I think it's going to suck for them, especially with as good a team as we put together. Far and away the best team that we've had in the 20 years of this competition. And I think we just have to understand basically 40% of the major league game is played by guys who were not born in this country. Venezuela, the Dominican, Japan, we can go all over the place. Curacao, wherever. I don't care. That's the beauty of this sport. And I love it. And I think it's great for this. And I just think that we should take the good things that we've seen from the World Baseball Classic and not say, well, look, we don't do this, we don't do that. If you can learn and grow, I love it. I think it's just great.
Yeah, and then another thing that happened this year was Italy. Not
Great.
just because the players that play on that team, But I mean, the opportunity that Francisco Cervelli have to kind of continue to grow baseball in Italy. And I'm a big fan of the Italy community. I've been in Italy, and my one of my best friends lived there. And every time I go, I want to be involved with baseball. And count me on. And I'm gonna text Francisco Cervelli for the next time that he's gonna run clinic over there in Italy. After this last year that I'm gonna play baseball, I'm gonna be on the other side of things. I'm gonna go to Italy, and I'm down to do any kind of baseball clinic over there. Go to Cervelli to Italy and continue to grow the game internationally, because I know how much of baseball fans are in Italy right now, and there's a lot of players who wants to be good. And I mean, I'm willing to go and be part of something bigger than Cervelli's brewing over there with alongside with so many other players.
I love that. That's so cool. And I know you like the wine over there too.
Oh yeah, I like the food, I like the wine, and I like the community and the history over there. So
Oh yeah.
I'm willing to go and help baseball get to a better place in Italy, and hopefully they can continue to grow.
I love that. That is excellent. Hold tight 1 second, because I want to let everybody know that today's episode is sponsored by Amazon. When life throws you a curveball, Amazon's everyday low prices on essentials helps you save the day. Amazon has everything you need whenever you need it. Planned purchases, unexpected moments. They got everything in one place, saving you time and money so you can focus on what matters most. From tech to clothing to daily needs. Anything else you need to prepare for the start of the season, Amazon has everything you need all in one convenient place. They deliver right to you anytime, anywhere. I told you, I've forgotten a ton of things on a recent road trip. I was gone 16 days, had them delivered to my hotel. I was good to go, including my hair product. And you know how much help I need with that. So whether it's routine shopping or handling life's curveballs, shop Amazon and save on essentials. Save the everyday. Miguel Rojas, you have been the best so far. I've got two other things I want to hit on very quickly, and then we'll go. Future of the World Baseball Classic. There are a lot of people, and I'm toying with it as well because I'm not sure. There's not a perfect time to play this tournament. Can't do it after the season. Guys they're checked out. Long season. This feels like the best time because guys are gearing up. They're all together. Some have said the All-Star break. Let's have it for 10 days, 2 weeks, whatever. Maybe we split the tournament. We have pool play in the spring training. Then we play the quarterfinals, the semis, and the final all during the All-Star break and expand the All-Star break a little bit. Would you be good with that?
No, I think the timing of it is right now. It's gotta be in spring training. You don't wanna give the guys in the middle of the year a 2 week break every 3 years, because that is not what we used to. It's gotta be on this time. I think everybody can get ready in the off season a little bit better to start playing games. There's a lot of ways for us to get live VPs and get on the field and play a little bit of a scrimmage game for the next one. But one thing that I have to add that I feel WBC will be so much better with. So we play this tournament every 3 years, right? So I'm thinking if we play this tournament in one specific place in the world every single year, right? So let's talk about United States hosted this year, right? So it's gonna be Miami, Houston, and let's say somewhere else, whatever they want to put it in Atlanta or whatever is hot for us to play. Arizona, let's say. Next time the WBC comes around is in Asia. So they play, all the teams go to Japan, all the teams go to Korea and play pool play over there, quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals. Another the next time they go to Latin America, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, and hopefully Venezuela when Venezuela get the opportunity to host. I think we have the field, we have the everything that you see how those two games in Dominican Republic went. You see the atmosphere in Puerto Rico. So you have three places where you can do it and go in a rotation every 3 years. You go to a different place in the world. So I feel like those teams that play in Asia, the first round, the pool play, and they have to fly all the way to Miami for the 18 hours. It sucks for them, and they have to just fly all the time, play. play a game after you haven't played in 5, 6 days, it's not fair for them, you know? So I
Wow.
feel like that's something that I would like to see from the WBC perspective, and I don't think anybody will be mad. Then you have to go to Latin America, either Japan, Korea, or wherever they play over there, and another time we do it in United States.
So do you think Aaron Judge would hop on a plane for 2.5 weeks and head to Japan?
I think if we did it last year and the whole Dodger team did it last year for a full week of baseball, and it was amazing. I mean, you're not gonna do it every year. You're gonna do it every 3 years, and
Okay.
that's probably gonna be your only time that you're gonna do it, because the next time is gonna be in Latin America. That is not too far from from Miami and Florida, and the
Yeah.
other time is gonna be in United States. So you're not really gonna do it every 3 years. You're gonna do it like every 9 years. So by the
Yeah.
time you gotta do it again, you're probably not playing anymore.
I get that. The only thing is I think the TV's the problem when you put it
Yeah, I get it.
in Japan or South Korea. That then you lose the entire United States basically from watching.
Correct.
So that's the only hard part. I think if we could figure out the logistics, I love where your head's at because I think that the atmospheres are amazing. Like I want to get to the Tokyo Dome. I want to get to the Dominican Republic. I want to get to Puerto Rico as a baseball fan and experience all that. So that's really, really good. I
Yeah,
want to ask you,
if you're doing this to grow the game,
you're right.
that's the right answer. If you're doing it for money and you're
Well,
doing it for TV money and viewers, there you go. That's the answer.
well. Interesting we get to that because I want your thoughts. You have been a part of the labor negotiations in the past, right?
Yeah.
You've been okay. Do you think that the success of the World Baseball Classic will allow people on both sides, owners and players, to realize, shit, we are running hot right now in a good way? We got to figure this out because if we miss any games in 2027, we're morons.
Yeah, I mean that's a good perspective right there. I feel like you have to understand that baseball are at their highest right now, you know. And one thing that we don't want is to kill that momentum and kill that vibe. So to be honest with you, we are hopeful as players that we can actually um, get something done. Baseball has been really good the last 2 or 3 years now, and we continue to get better. You know, so I hope for the best of everything that MLB understand where we are as a business side and how well we are doing on the player side as well, and the teams needs to continue to work on whatever is best for them for the future and to put the best product on the field, but not to kill the vibe and the atmosphere that we have in baseball right now. So I'm really hopeful that we're not gonna miss any games. But as players right now, we're getting prepared for anything that get throws at us, because at the end of the day, we are the ones playing this game, and we have to protect what is ours, and we are the ones every single day putting the show on the TV. You know, it's not
Yeah.
the teams, it's not everybody. I know we're getting paid for this, but we have to protect what is ours, and we're gonna actually fight for the rights that the people before us fought for us. You know.
Yeah, listen, I get all that. I have never gone to a game to watch an owner own, ever. I've always gone to watch a player play. It's that simple, and I get it, and I back you. I just hope that somebody in the room, when things are contentious, somebody should just hit a play button and say, "Look at this moment from March 17th. Look at how
Yeah.
special that was. Guys, I know there's a lot of money to be divided up. I understand negotiations, but for God's sakes, we are in such a good place with so much talent. And I know there's shit that's got to get figured out, but I really, really hope that somebody does that. And I'll come in. I'll come in.
We hopeful too, because I mean, as a players, this is what we know to do, you know.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, we're gonna put our our best weapons on the people who represent us, and we have a great union that we are really united throughout the years, and the union is us, the players.
Yep.
All the players who play in the big leagues and the people who have to sacrifice a lot of things behind us to get the sport to the place it is right now. So we have to respect that, and we have to fight for what's coming next.
All right. Before we let you go, it's time right now for our SoFi Spotlight of the Week, and it's going to focus on you because
Okay.
your name popped up. I was in a meeting, and I get
Mhm.
out, and the first thing I see is Trevor Plouffe and Jake Storiali talking about, well, thank God Miguel Rojas didn't get popped for PEDs. Evan Trelick of The Athletic, who's actually been a very good investigative reporter, mistyped your name when he was talking about Johan Rojas. That
Whoa,
got
whoa, 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 whoa. Let me stop you there. He didn't mistype my name. He did it with all the intention to put my name and the organization's name on that tweet. One thing is to mistype my name and say Miguel Rojas got suspended. That's a fair kind of uh, mistake that you can commit. But when you say Miguel Rojas from the Los Angeles Dodgers
right.
got suspended 80 games for PEDs, that's what I'm not good with, you know? And I'm gonna talk to you about this, and this is the only person that I'm gonna talk to about this issue, because I don't want to make it a big deal and I don't want to make it about myself. But I feel like as a reporter, you have to have some ability to be a professional as well and apologize not just to me but to the organization, because you don't even know how Andrew Freeman felt after these accusations that for 6 minutes kind of rumbled my whole world and got so many people around me and around us, the team, the Los Angeles Dodgers, worried because of one guy make a mistake. That is, I'm totally okay with making mistakes. We're not, we're all humans. But at the end of the day, I was expecting an apology, not just for me but for the people in the organization. So that's what you can continue with
No, no,
with
no.
your sense.
Hold on. Are you saying that Evan did not reach out to you and apologize?
No chance. The only guy who reached out to me was Jack Harris from the LA. Is an LA reporter. He's here at camp, and he was the one reaching out to my agent yesterday when all this happened. But like I said, I mean, I'm okay. I was just like concerned, like with like why my name have to be on this conversation. But this guy didn't even because I don't have X or Twitter or whatever. So he didn't make an apology to my name or the organization for
No,
saying something like
listen,
that.
whether or not he wrote that he was sorry or not, he owes you a call. He owes
Well,
you a
he
call,
didn't.
Miguel.
He didn't call me or trying to reach out or anything.
That's
He was,
bullshit.
yeah, it is bullshit. And nothing happened to me. And I don't want to be as center of attention for anything like this. But I just feel like it's not. I'm not asking for an apology to me. Is to, like, he mentioned the Los Angeles Dodgers organization as well, and I really respect that. And I don't want the people involved with the organization to have to deal with something like that when didn't even happen.
Well, all he wrote on X was, I've deleted a post incorrectly identifying who was suspended today. It was Johan Rojas of the Philadelphia Phillies who was suspended. Listen, we all make mistakes, but for God's sakes, I'm sorry. But, I'm sorry that
At
you had to
least,
go
at
through this.
least,
Yes.
and no, and I mean, I understand that you're saying sorry, but you got nothing to be sorry for.
No, I
Like,
feel
I'm
what
okay.
I'm
I'm
saying is
totally,
I
you
feel
know.
sorry for you and that your family went through this because that is, you know how this goes. Your name gets mentioned in something. It's hard to put the toothpaste back in the tube.
Yeah, because you're gonna ask me about that, or you already know that I have to deal with some shit like this before. That's the thing. Like, I don't want my name to be linked and involved with another drama that I'm not even part of it.
Your phone must have been blowing up for those 6 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it was more than anything just my agent. When I got home, I told my wife, because she's here with me. I'm glad that she's here with me, and I could explain her what happened.
Oh God.
Um, But yeah, I'm glad that it wasn't a big deal, and
Hey,
I'm glad that we played the WBC and all the attention is on there.
wow. Could you imagine if she had been back home and somebody had been like, sent her that tweet that got out there and said, "Have you seen what's going on with your husband?" That wouldn't have
Yeah,
worked out great, Miguel.
yeah,
Woo.
exactly.
All right, listen. I can't thank you enough for sharing the importance of this win with Venezuela. It was great watching you celebrate with Aaron and the rest of your family.
Yeah.
I apologize for taking so much of your family time because I know spring training is dwindling down, but you are a huge part of what we have done here at John Boy Media, and people love hearing your perspective on
Mhm.
life, the game, and hear it all just intertwined because this was a big moment for you and for Venezuela. So thank you so much for hanging out with us over the last 35, 40 minutes. This has been a
No,
blast.
it's my pleasure, Chris. And I mean, you guys know I'm gonna be a part of the these episodes, and I mean anything related to you and John Boy Media. I always gonna be supportive, and this was really special to me and to the whole people in Venezuela. I'm glad that you gave me the opportunity to use you guys' platform again to explain the whole baseball world on this side, how much it means to every player that they were crying on the field and the reason why they crying, and for the whole world. I just think like everybody who born in Venezuela is really proud today to be born in Venezuela, and it's because of baseball. I'm super happy, and I can't wait to go celebrate with those guys and give them one by one a big hug when I see them during the season.
That's freaking awesome, man. Really
Yeah,
happy for you. Best to
amazing.
you and the rest of the family. Good seeing you. I'll catch up with you at Dodger Stadium soon.
Thank you, brother. See you soon.
Well, obviously, want to thank Miguel Rojas certainly for clearing that up at the end. I'm really happy he stopped me. He goes, no, 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 no. Let me stop you right there. That's perfect. That's the way you handle things. He's classy as always. It sucks that that happened to him. And Evan Drellick, you've been really good in this business for a long time. Do the right thing. Call him. You owe him an apology, for goodness sakes. I mean, we do all make mistakes in this business, and when you're wrong, you owe somebody an apology. It's very simple. Not your dad, don't want to be, but god dang it, man, let's go. Well, I want to tell you about this. I invested in crypto, right? And people wonder, is it right for them? Sometimes you feel like those platforms are a little too complicated. You're not exactly easy going with it. And I get it. Well, here's some good news for everybody out there. SoFi is the first nationally chartered bank where you can buy, sell, and hold cryptocurrency all from one simple app. Okay. You can access over 25 cryptocurrencies all on one federally regulated platform with the safeguards of a bank. SoFi provides in app guidance to help you learn as you go so you can invest smarter. And the best part of all this, it can be done in the same SoFi app as the rest of your finances, which you love. Now, crypto, it's inherently risky. You need to make sure it's right for your financial situation. But if you're ready to explore crypto with SoFi, visit SoFi.com/JohnBoy to start your crypto journey. As a special bonus, right now, SoFi is giving away 100 grand in Bitcoin each week through the end of March. Open an account today to claim your share. All right. This next segment brought to you by MLB The Show 26. We are going to predict our 2026 MVP winners, then compare our predictions to the award winners within a simulated MLB The Show season. So we're going to do AL and we're going to do NL. I'm going to start in the NL. I don't know how in the world, I want to try and challenge myself, but is there any way, as long as Shohei Ohtani is healthy, that I can go against him? I mean, the guy has won 4 MVPs, second to Barry Bonds. And I think he's going to win his 4th straight and now 5th overall. As long as he pitches, and he is scheduled to pitch this year, and as long as he plays 150 games, which he basically does every year, what does he have to do to not win the MVP? Have like an ERA of 5 and an OPS of 807? Like, that's not going to happen. As long as he's healthy, I tried to scour through there. Like last year, I said my dark horse was Jackson Churio. He's going to be my NL MVP. Dark horse. And he wasn't close, right? Helped the Brewers become the best regular season team around. Awesome. Kid's 21 years old. Cool. Love it. Ohtani is lapping the field. So I can't, as much fun as it is to pick somebody off the beaten path a little bit, I can't do it. I just cannot do it. That gets me to the American League. And why would I pick against Aaron Judge? I don't know why I would, to be honest with you. I don't know if I can, but I'm going to try. And I honestly believe this, that I think this is the year for Bobby Witt Jr., in part because I think they're the biggest challenge to the Detroit Tigers in the American League Central. And I think that his game is just awesome. Both sides of the baseball. We saw what he did in the World Baseball Classic. Great glove, great arm. The guy can steal between 35 and 50 bags, depending on his season. He's going to hit 30 home runs. Would I like to see his on-base percentage jump back up? It was right around 350 last year. It was way closer to 400 the season before when I think he finished runner-up for MVP. But in the last 3 MVP races, he's finished 7th, 2nd, and then 4th. And I think part of the reason, if they win the division, which they could, I'm going to pick Detroit probably. I'll give you my answers next week before the regular season starts. But if they can steal the division, then I think he's going to get some serious consideration because at some point, people are going to get Aaron Judge fatigue. And unlike Shohei, he can't show us something new or different or better on the mound. Remember, Shohei only made 14 starts last year. So if the guy makes 22 or 23 and still has an ERA under 3 and 12 Ks per 9, then we go, wow, like he's in Cy Young consideration. Aaron Judge doesn't have that part of the game. So I suppose if I'm going to go against one of those guys, it'll be Aaron Judge because I just think Bobby Witt is awesome. So there you go. But with the simulations, they went out and did it, and Shohei and Judge were your winners. So that's not a big shock for any of us out there. Got it? Good. You can let us know who you guys are thinking about, and you can give us some dark horse guys out there as well. There's nothing wrong with that. So once again, today's episode sponsored by MLB The Show. It's almost here. World Baseball Classic. We know it's back. You get to take on the real-life World Baseball Classic teams from all over the world with your Diamond Dynasty squad in the online mode. Step up to the plate. Brand new World Baseball Classic ballparks, including the Tokyo Dome and the place down in Puerto Rico, which was awesome. Additional 2026 games include Road to the Show, Road to Cooperstown, where you can build your legacy from the start of high school all the way up to Hall of Fame and career mode. Also, Negro Leagues mode returns for season 4 with all new legends, uniforms, and stadiums. And get this, if you visit MLBthe.show/JohnBoy, use the code JohnBoy, you can unlock a pack for use in Diamond Dynasty. Internet connection required. Pretty cool, though, right? It's available now on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X, and Nintendo Switch. It is rated E for everyone. So a lot to get to in the comments today. What you thought about the USA coming up short 3-2. I think that was the exact final score against Japan a couple of years ago. What you think about Venezuela winning? What about Miguel Rojas? He came in on fire. He wants to have the World Baseball Classic rotating around to Japan, to the Latin American countries. I think it's cool. I don't think logistically it's going to work out, and I definitely don't think for TV it's going to work out. But there's a lot of stuff like how disappointed were you with what happened with the United States? What'd you think overall about their team? We thought it was the best team. It was the best team we ever put out there. It just wasn't good enough to duplicate what they did in 2017 and win it all. But all I can tell you is this. The World Baseball Classic is phenomenal. And I think every 3 years is exactly where we should sit on this thing. Are there changes they can make to the system? Yes. Do I agree with Miguel that they should play it in March? I would like to tinker with the idea of maybe playing the quarters, the semis, and the final in July, but I can certainly understand why they would want to keep it in March. So I just think we all have to keep an open mind. But most importantly, I think the number one thing out of this is baseball is beautiful no matter what style you play or what type of style you root for. Like if it's not your thing to throw the bat 50 feet in the air and you'd say, I'd rather have my guys look like they've been there before. Cool. That's fine. It doesn't matter. But at the same time, let's respect the people who do want to play that way. There wasn't one time when I was watching the WBC where it looked like anybody who threw the bat or celebrated was disrespecting the other dugout. Not once did I ever feel that way. When Wilyer Abreu skyrocketed that bat against Japan. He didn't stare down Japan. He looked directly into the guys in that dugout and was like, hell yes, biggest swing of my career. And that made it fun. I don't know about you guys, but that made it a blast for me. So congratulations to Venezuela. It was such a cool opportunity for all of us as fans to enjoy something, because you know what we would have been doing in a regular year without the WBC on March 17th? Well, first of all, you'd probably be hammered. So let's say like March 18th. When does the regular season start? Please get me there. I've had enough of this. I cannot watch another game in spring training. I want to get going. This filled our baseball hearts. At least it did mine. I can tell you that. We are back very soon. Always appreciate the support. Thank you for giving us a thumbs up and subscribing, and leave a comment what you thought about everything. Let's go for it. For our one-of-a-kind producer, Dan Rourke, the awesome Miguel Rojas, and on behalf of Trevor Plouffe, who's been on assignment in Miami covering the World Baseball Classic, I am Chris Rose. We will see you soon here on Baseball Today.